Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio, back to work on a Monday morning. So, how are the U.S. women's soccer team doing in the World Cup?
They are out. OUT.
What the hell happened?
They were dismissed via Sweden, and that occurred very early yesterday morning. That's very early yesterday morning, Australian time. Here's the deal. The USA played 4 World Cup games, and they scored 4 goals. But 3 of them, Mike, were in one game. 3-0 over Vietnam. They scored 1 goal after that, got shut out in 2 of the games, including the game with Sweden yesterday. Portugal and Sweden shut out the USA. Of course, the USA defense also shut out the opposition. 0-0 ties. So the games went to penalty kicks. Against Portugal, the USA won. Against Sweden, the USA did not win. The Swedish game was in the knockout round, 1 loss and you're gone. And that was the case yesterday. Kind of disappointing. USA women's national team received an awful lot of publicity. They were 4-time champions, 4-time world champions, and had won 2 in a row, 2 World Cups in a row, but not going to win this time. Young team, maybe a little bit too young and inexperienced, but they're out of the competition, and thus the situation has been remedied as far as World Cup. Now, the competition goes on. The good teams remaining include Japan. They're a very, very good team, and Sweden that defeated the USA.
Look for him to return with a vengeance in 4 years. That young team won't be so young anymore. All right, that's not the only World Cup going on. There's also one in basketball.
There is indeed, and it receives much less publicity than women's soccer did. Why is that? I'm not in the media, I don't know. But I will tell you the men's World Cup soccer circumstance, Team USA has an exhibition game tonight. They will play Puerto Rico out in Las Vegas. 4 other exhibition games, not in this country, will follow before the World Cup begins in Manila. They're playing in the Philippines. The USA team, as you might expect, is all NBA players. They are very young. They are not the headline players you might expect, but they are very, very talented. Paolo Banchero from the Orlando Magic. He's Duke University All-America. Rookie of the Year in the NBA. He's playing. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart from the New York Knicks, Tyrese Halliburton, who's a really, really good player, Indiana Pacers out of Iowa State. He's on the team. Austin Reeves, you might remember he's the kid who came off the bench for the Lakers and bombed away from three-point range and kept the Lakers in the game in their NBA playoff game. The head coach is Steve Kerr. He's backed by an all-star group of other coaches. USA team probably is not favored in this. They are young, they are all NBA players, but the world competition is also very much NBA players. We'll see what happens. It all begins with an exhibition game tonight, and the competition itself begins, I believe it's August the 25th in Manila.
Well, we'll get a good look at what that team's going to do, at least after the exhibition tonight. Last but not least, it just keeps getting a little bit more crazy as we return to college football. Another shakeup happening over the weekend.
How about a major seismic earthquake in college football? There were 6 teams that departed the scene, and they're all from the Pac-12. Oregon and Washington, they decided they're bolting right away. You knew this was going to happen. Oregon and Washington going to the Big Ten Conference. Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah all to the Big 12. Why are they leaving? Well, because of the TV money. TV money is not there. There was a big meeting held by the commissioner of the Pac-12 last week, attended by everybody other than Southern Cal, UCLA, and Colorado. They'd already gone. Attended it, and the story that the commissioner told was not the one the schools wanted to hear. They made a TV deal with Apple that was going to get each school about $35 million. Now going to the Big Ten, they get $60 million. Going to the Big 12, they will get a newly negotiated $45 million each. Come on. This is a no-brainer. You're going to get out of there. So at the moment, the one-time Pac-12 conference, one of the venerable leagues in America, is left with 4 teams. Washington State, Oregon State, Stanford, and California. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see those teams move on as well.
Man, unfortunate for those guys, but hey, it's not our pocketbook they're messing with. We just, as long as we get to watch the game, that's all that matters to us. And looks like we're going. Yesterday's game with the St. Louis Cardinals was the perfect example of how this season has gone for that team. If you were to say, watch one game to describe how this season's gone for that team, yesterday would be the perfect example.
Well, it certainly was among them. There's no question about that. Cardinals teams over the past do not lose 1-0 games, especially to rock-bottom teams like the Colorado Rockies, and they aren't very good at all. They have no offense. Yet they being Colorado, a sacrifice fly in the third inning and made it stand. Now, how did that happen? Well, the Cardinals out-hit the Rockies 8-5. But then you look at the box score. Well, the Cardinals had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and could not cash in. Mike, they left 15 runners on base. You don't win doing that. 15 runners stranded. And as a result, Cardinals lost the game 1-0, dropped down to 15 games below the 500 mark, and head down to Florida. Do not play tonight. But down in Florida, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they play the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay has not been playing all that well in recent weeks, but they're still a pretty doggone good baseball team. This will be a nice little challenge for the Redbirds.
It will be. They weren't the only ones that were active this weekend. Kansas City Royals, how'd they do?
They continued their winning streak on Friday night, beat Philadelphia. That made it 7 straight wins, but since then, Philly came back and won 2. Philadelphia won yesterday 8-4 over the Royals. And the Springfield Cardinals, how about this for kind of history repeating itself? 2 weeks ago, the Arkansas Travelers came in here, and the Springfield Cardinals won the first 3 games of the series, then lost the next 3, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, here comes Northwest Arkansas, Kansas City Royals AA Farm Club in here. Springfield Cardinals win the first 3 games, lose the next 3.
Man.
They lost the game we had on television by a score of 13-8 after leading 8-7 in the 9th inning. Lost on Saturday and lost yesterday 9-8, scoring 2 runs last the 9th inning, but could not pull it out. So Springfield drops back to a 51-51 500 record and have the San Antonio Missions coming in here this week.
Crazy. All right. Well, how was that racing in Michigan?
Still going on. Now, does that mean they're racing under the lights and raced all night long? No, it does not. This is the Michigan International Raceway NASCAR race yesterday. They got through 74 laps of the 200 laps, and that's not an official race. Down came the rain, so NASCAR put a halt to it and said we will resume the situation today at noontime, so there will probably be another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of racing going on, all starting at noontime today.
Exciting stuff, and I'm sure a lot of guys are probably trying to figure out how to get out of work so they can watch it. Ned, you have a great Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.